executed well, and we're kind of just introducing everything from the ground up. And so the great thing about our group is they came in shape, so we can go a longer session today and get a lot of things in, and we're all pleased with how they competed and how they picked everything up quickly.
Are there things that you want to emphasize right off the bat, just to make that point, that here's our first priorities?
Yeah, we had a 28-minute film session earlier before, and I showed them some clips and some things and some of the numbers in the past 3 years. What we want to avoid, what we want to get better at, and the main thing I stressed was effort and execution, and how we'll get to that. So,
what are those things you want to get better at that you cited?
Everything. I mean, the numbers were ugly, to be honest, the last few years. And, when you rank 25th to 30th in a lot of categories, there's a lot of areas to improve on and grow in. And so we kind of hit them right between the eyes in the areas we struggled over the last few years and how we want to get better. So it's kind of broad on both sides of the ball.
And you did that in 28 minutes, huh?
28-minute session.
First day, how was your feeling, Samir?
That was great. That's the thing we kind of stressed in there with the effort, and we want to change the perception of us as a team and the organization, and that starts with how hard we play every night. So we have a lot of competitive guys, a lot of bodies, a lot of depth, and so they competed great today.
How did some of the veterans interest themselves so far in the first day of practice?
It's very evident from day one. You got a guy like Fred, he's very communicative from day one, talking to guys on and off the court, on the sideline, and so him, Dylan, and guys who have been through it have a huge impact immediately.
You kind of talked about doing the extension of you on the floor. Did you see that on day one in camp?
Yeah, I saw it this summer, being in the gym with him out in California. He's always in the right place at the right time on both sides of the ball, so it's a luxury to have a guard like him with the IQ, things he's been through experience-wise, and he is the extension of a coach on the floor, and so we're pleased with that. We love to have him, and it'll definitely rub off on the court.
How did you feel the communication was on offense and defense on the court between the players?
Today?
Yeah.
It's been good. We want to be a louder group, I think, at times, and Fred even stressed that we got to talk more, we got to hear each other, and so that's been one of the keys. To be a great defensive and offensive group, you got to talk to each other and not just try to read each other's minds. And so the defense that we're going to play takes a lot of communication, a lot of talk out there, and I think guys did okay today.
I know it's just day one, but how do you feel like the guys are kind of picking up the concepts that you're trying to teach them right now, offensively, defensively?
It's been good. I think we got to sprinkle some things in summer league and the offseason, so guys have heard some of the terminology and know what we're going to do a little bit. And so it was more so for the veterans getting caught up, and they've already been through a lot, so they picked that up pretty quickly.
Are you keeping things really simple right now, or are you trying to get into more kind of advanced stuff right out of the gate?
No, we kept it simple. We are basically going backwards, kind of doing a lot of switching on, off ball, and then we'll tweak it backwards, so to speak. And so we're throwing out the basics just to get the fundamentals down and the teaching points as far as that, and then we'll get into the semantics later.
Just day one, but how have you seen Lynn and Cam? How have you seen them grow since they last competed in the summer league?
Yeah, they've been great throughout the summer since we got them and in the gym every day. So you see their growth, and they have that talent. They'll take jumps here and there, kind of incrementally. You expect that from these young guys who only played 1 year college or overtime year or whatever the case may be. The more we're coaching them up and they're getting to be around veteran guys, they learn that pretty quickly. So they've been great.
Jalen this summer, what did you learn about him as a player and as a person?
Very competitive. He's a natural scorer, and he wants to be great. He has all the potential with that. He said that's just a word, achieve that. So he wants to be great. He's been a great player this summer and really put in the work. So now it's a matter of taking that step to helping him win.
Did he seem eager to form a relationship with you, and vice versa? Were you eager to work with him?
Yeah, obviously he's one of our main players. Really young, talented guys. And, me being out in California around him, kind of like I have to stay weekly out there. So, he was one of the first guys that got at dinner in California. And, we've been around each other since.
I know you haven't been off for the last 6 months. You've been working, but first day on the court, how did it feel just to be back for you to do your thing again?
Yeah, it's fun. I've been doing this for 12 years now, so it's kind of second nature regardless. But it's exciting and to get around in the group. And we're all very interested to see what we have with everybody. And we'll learn that throughout the weeks coming up. But it's fun to be back out there with all the guys. We're not saying anxious or excited to that extent, but for the most part, it's good to be out there with the whole as a whole.
Did you give yourself a second to think about that last night or this morning, or at any point you go, all right, I'm back on the court, I'm doing it?
No, I've been around the guys enough over the last few months, although this is the start of training camp. more focused on what we really want to implement and what we want to get to and the messaging to the guys more so than my own personal satisfaction to get back at it.
Coach, on yesterday, Dylan Brooks said something to the effect of he wants teams to know that when they come in, they're playing the Houston Rockets. It's not going to be, just push over, easy win. Is that the mindset and the concept coming from the top down, starting with yourself?
Definitely. Coaching change happens, and then you bring in these veterans, and then you get these draft picks, and we know how much we've struggled over the last few years. I mean, he said it without, we've been stressing that to them, no doubt. And a big part of the film session today was I put the numbers 17, 19, and 22 up there, and that's the win totals from the last 3 years. And how do we obviously take a huge step from that? And so, yeah, we want to be a different team, and teams know when they play us, and it's not the same as the past 3 years.
You mentioned you want the veterans to help all the young guys, but when you look at the point guard position specifically with the men, like how much are you leaning on Fred and also Aaron to kind of mentor him in that?
Yeah, he's a natural talent, but he's young and inexperienced in certain things, so he's kind of learning on the fly. But just as Fred has the IQ and the experience, and Aaron's been around, man has some things you can't teach. He has that speed, that size, that athleticism, natural passing ability. So he only try to improve his IQ and experience level in general because he has some things that are, freak of nature as far as that on the court.
How do you envision using Alper and Chingun offensively this upcoming season? Do you have ideas of, using him in DHO sets, as a rim runner? Just kind of your preliminary thoughts on him and how to kind of deploy him in the best spots to use him offensively?
Yeah, I'd say all around. He does everything really well. He's obviously one of the better low post scorers in the league, so you want to take advantage of that. But he's also really good on the perimeter, his passing ability and reading guys and IQ. And so you don't have to be a point guard dominant team at times when you have a center like him that can pass the ball and initiate offense. And so we'll move him all over the court. Want him to improve his shooting and be aggressive when guys sag off him as far as that. But he's a well-rounded player that we'll try to use all of that.
So trying to improve his shooting, is that a point of emphasis from the coaching staff to him?
Yeah, and then we got with them in the summer to get some really good work in and stress if they're going to sag off you to take away your passing, you got to be able to make them pay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Coach.
it. Thank you.
No problem.